We have 6 regions represented here today. We have the US, India, EU, China, other developed nations, and other developing nations. The Paris Agreement signed by the nations of the world in 2015 outlined a goal of limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius and aims to get as close to 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial levels as possible. We have brought you together to work within and across the spheres of influence and solve the climate crisis together. The mission of our summit is to create a feasible roadmap to stay well below 2 degrees Celsius and aim for 1.5 degrees Celsius. I have the utmost confidence in our ability to succeed today. In fact, we need to succeed because we are running out of time. We are meeting at a different time in human history. A recent report by the IPCC showed that we only have about 10 years left to take meaningful action in order to limit global warming by below 2 degrees Celsius. The climate crisis is already here today. We are the first generation to experience the effects of climate change. Higher temperatures are already dragging out droughts and wiping out crops. The 2015 Nepal earthquake is a good example of resilience and solidarity. We are facing a similar crisis today. Thank you so much, and I wish you good luck with the negotiations.
Give us your output. So for us, deforestation and land degradation, it will only do very little, or it will address very small portions of our emissions. Therefore, for us, that is very insignificant. People like Americans, because you pollute a lot, like you contribute to almost the highest CO2 emissions from your fossil fuels and cement. So you need to contribute a lot. You need to contribute more to what you are polluting.
Afforestation Well, I've heard about other, like China and some of the countries saying, oh, we are not going to reduce, America should give. We are not going to be a donor country. We are going to make America great again. So for those who are waiting for us to give money so that they can reduce their countries, and in fact China is contributing 30% of the global emissions. So you are telling us to give you money and yet you're the one giving us the greatest percentage. No, you have to fight your own battle. America is fighting its own battle to ensure the people and the economy grow. To ensure we have afforestation, and we are going to contribute 0.8 to ensure that our country is safe. Each country should fight. How can you tell me that we give some countries where there is the greatest corruption, they have no accountability of the money we give them?
We want more from China because you are emitting a lot. You are emitting a lot. You are the largest emitter.
Our main issue was the deforestation. Mainly as China, we mainly use renewable energy sources. We are mainly investing in electrical means of transportation. So we really don't use much of trees.
And as a region combined, we think that we can contribute only 0.6 billion per annum to this. I mean, this is a regional pledge. Asia, the Caribbean, Africa, and all the countries in the other developing world.
From India. So on the carbon emission growth stop here, we agreed on 2030. On the carbon emission declines that year, 2020, the fractional rate of decline 0.5%. The reason is because we are still developing, and so we need to start more and more industries which are going to have more of emissions, so the rate is a bit low. On the reduction in emission from deforestation and land degradation, 0.5. On afforestation, 0.8. On the amount of fund that we require, 15 billion, we've gone a bit lower, which we are very happy, and for the support and agreement that we have reached with China. We are going to offer us 5 billion, and also to aid us on technological input in terms of road construction. Also with the EU, we are going to offer us 0.5 billion, and this part we are going to use in afforestation to start up renewable energy production, and also in terms of giving back. For those who are going to offer us the various funding, we are going to give space for them to come and invest in our country. Also, we are going to offer them raw materials, especially the pharmaceutical-based one, and also the manpower. The only nation that would not agree, which we were requesting them to aid us with 10 billion, is the US, but I know we are going to reach some agreement, maybe thereafter. Thank you.
From other developing countries. So on the CO2 emission growth stop, we plan to, our projection is to stop it by 2030. The CO2 emission decline starts at 2045. The fraction rate of decline will be at a rate of 2%, and the the REDD should be at 0.7. The afforestation rate after a very serious agreement at developed countries from the EU, we agreed to leave it at 0.9%. We've secured 22 billion per year, which is going to help us achieve this vision.
My name is John. I'm representing China. The CO2 emission growth stop here still stick at 2030. That is from the previous one, which was 2050. And the CO2 emissions decline started at 5. The fractional rate of decline still remains at 3%. The reduction in emissions from deforestation and land degradation still remains at 0.9. Afforestation, that is the net new forest area, is 0.5. Regarding the previous claims that we are the most pollutants, we are pledging 30 billion. That is to contribute to the Global Fund for Mitigation and Adaptation. So basically, we are still remaining with the same figures there. Now that we made an agreement with the US and failed to reach an agreement with them, so we are still standing at the same figures. So we haven't changed anything till we make a full agreement with the US and the EU. Thank you.
My name is Sandra, under the other developed countries. The carbon emissions growth stop here we decided 2038. Carbon emissions decline start here is 2033. That's a difference of 5 years. And then the fractional rate of decline for certain areas is 12.5. Reduction in emissions from deforestation and land degradation is 0.4. As you're already a developed country, we don't require to cut more trees. Afforestation is 0.4.
Hi, I'm Annabelle Monde from European Union Commission, and our stand on carbon emission is carbon emissions peak per year will be 2031, the year of 2031. The carbon emissions decline start here will be 2036. Fractional rate of decline will be at 3%. The reduction in emissions from deforestation and land degradation will be at 0.9%. Afforestation, the net new forest area will be at 0.4%. Then our region's contribution to the Global Fund for Mitigation and Adaptation is 10 billion. And just to justify our 10 billion to the US, we made a stand because the US is not willing to contribute to the climate change and the Global Fund towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. As EU, we've decided to take some action on that. And we've decided to increase 30% tax on all carbon emitted products from the US. Ooh. And we come with a deal on the table through the global P4G platform, and we'll give them 30% tax emissions on all green products that they bring to the EU. So that will be our deal breaker with the US in terms of the 10 billion that we are contributing. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Maurice Bravo, representing US. Therefore, we have some few things that we have already discussed, and we've come to some conclusion and a deal with my colleagues. And therefore, one thing is, if there is anything called global warming, we don't know, but we are going to reduce our emissions. That is what we commit to reduce the carbon oxide emissions. That is our stand. Because you realize in the recent past, the US emissions are falling, and that now it stands at 14% below the 2005 levels. So really, we are doing pretty good on our side. But on the part of contributing to the Green Climate Fund, we have come to the conclusion and said we are no longer going to contribute to that fund. Are we together? Yes. So that is our part, and we don't going to contribute, but we're going to work on our industries, work on our farms and greenhouses to ensure we have experts to handle the CO2 so that we don't emit to the whatever arranged global warming and contribute to it. So that is our stand. But we are considering to support the developing countries in Africa, but on conditions of tracking that support that we are giving them. Because we realize we give them money and they squander. So we are not going to give any contributions until we have some people on the ground to check either our funds are being utilized or not. So that is our stand, and thank you all people. God bless you.